Ladies, let me tell you something. Relationships are a delicate game of balance. Now, I'm not saying you should keep secrets, but there are some things a woman simply shouldn't lay all out on the table. Why? Because men and women think differently, and not everything is appreciated when it's fully understood. In fact, the moment you put all of yourself, the fears, the regrets, the plans, the insecurities out in the open, you give up something invaluable. You give up your mystery. You give up your power. You give up the very essence of what makes you captivating in dating after 60. Welcome back to Journey After 60. In this video, I'm going to reveal 5 things a woman should always keep to herself, no matter how close you are, no matter how long you've been together. And I promise you, if you carry this wisdom with you, you'll not only protect your dignity, but you'll unlock a new kind of power, one that keeps him looking at you in wonder, again and again. So stay with me until the end of the video. It could be the key to protecting your heart. Before we dive deeper into this journey, make sure to subscribe to the channel where we explore the silent mistakes that can erode a woman's dignity, the timeless wisdom that inspires a man's loyalty, and the truths about love after 60 that most people overlook. Now, let's start with the first thing a woman should think twice about sharing with a man, because once it's out, there's no taking it back. Number 1. Never share every detail about an ex. Men don't need to know every detail about the people who have passed through your life, and, God forbid, hear comparisons about how they were better in some way. Men have a natural instinct for possession, and the last thing they want is to feel like they're competing with a ghost. Imagine sitting with your partner. Everything feels perfect, and suddenly you casually mention how an ex surprised you with a vacation, or knew exactly how to comfort you when you were down. Even if he doesn't say anything, that thought will linger in his mind. Now he's unconsciously comparing himself to someone who isn't even in your life anymore. This breeds insecurity, doubt, and sometimes resentment. No matter how much he loves you, a part of him will always wonder, am I good enough? Men are naturally competitive. They see life as an endless battle to be the best, to win, to conquer. When they're with a woman, they want to feel like they are the only one who truly matters to her. I'm not suggesting you lie or pretend you've never loved anyone before, but the small, intimate details of past relationships are best left in the past. Another reason to keep past relationships private is that not every man is mature enough to handle the truth. Some might take that information and use it against you. Suppose you tell him that an ex cheated on you and you forgave her. An immature man might see that as a signal that you're willing to tolerate infidelity. He may not say it aloud, but deep down, he knows that at some point you allowed someone to hurt you and forgave them. Is that really a thought you want him carrying in his mind? As philosopher Soren Kierkegaard once said, life can only be understood backwards, but it must be lived forwards. The past can teach us lessons, but what truly matters is living for the present and the future. In love, this means not letting what's behind you interfere with the happiness you're building today. And when you keep the past in its rightful place, you're not just protecting your heart, you're making room for something even more important, your next move in love. Number 2. Your next move. What happens to a dream the moment it leaves your lips? Does it grow stronger in the light, or does it falter under the weight of other people's opinions? I believe that many of the most important dreams in a woman's life should not be spoken too soon. Plans, goals, even the smallest next steps are like fragile young seedlings. If you expose them before their roots are strong enough, they can be trampled by judgment, misunderstanding, or even well-meaning advice. In Dating After 60, I've seen older women open up and share every detail of what they intend to do, only to feel discouraged when men respond with questions, doubts, or subtle objections. Science tells us that when we speak about our intentions, our brain rewards us with a little dopamine. It makes us feel as if the goal is already halfway achieved. But here lies the danger. That reward can trick us into losing momentum. The energy meant to drive action is spent on words instead. My mother has always been a model of self-love and independence, showing by example the importance of living life on your own terms. Every few months, she quietly plans small adventures or personal projects, sometimes a weekend getaway, sometimes a class she wants to take, without telling my father in advance. She keeps these plans to herself until the moment is right. That little mystery has always kept my father loving and admiring her. In his eyes, she is not only a caring mother, but also a woman who is intriguing, self-assured, independent, and never dependent or submissive to anyone. Mystery naturally draws curiosity and admiration. In the same way, if a woman becomes entirely predictable, sharing every step, every word, and every reaction, she risks losing the very qualities that make her magnetic. Older men, like anyone else, are drawn to a touch of unpredictability, the quiet strength of a woman letting her life unfold without explaining every move. In this sense, silence is not hiding. It is strategic. It protects your mystery and your dignity. A high-value woman lets her actions speak louder than words. She moves forward with confidence, demonstrating rather than explaining. And there is something even more delicate than the next move, the fragile part of ourselves that lives beneath the surface, where doubt and fear reside. That, too, must be carefully protected. Number 3. Don't reveal all your weaknesses. A good man will protect you, but even the best have limits. If you reveal every insecurity, some men, especially those who aren't good for you, might use it against you. Men respect strength. When a woman exposes too many weaknesses, it can change the way a man perceives her. Some women confuse openness with connection. They think that by sharing every fear, past pain, or vulnerability, they'll create closeness. But that's not always true. Psychologist Brené Brown emphasizes vulnerability without boundaries is not vulnerability, it's chaos. Revealing too much too soon can overwhelm a man. He may feel like he has to fix everything, as if he suddenly bears responsibility for your emotions, and that pressure can push him away. Not every man deserves to know your weaknesses. Some, when faced with vulnerability, don't feel the need to protect it. They see it as an opportunity to manipulate. If you tell a man that you lack confidence, he might exploit it to make you feel lucky to have him, as if no one else would want you. If you share that you fear being alone, he might use it to control you, making you believe leaving him isn't an option. A woman's strength is her power. That doesn't mean being cold or unfeeling. It means carefully choosing who gets to see her softer side. A man must earn that level of trust. What about you? Where do you draw the line between openness and keeping something for yourself? Share your thoughts in the comments. Your experience could be exactly what other women need to hear. Every woman carries her own story, written in moments of joy and hurt. Yet some chapters, especially those filled with pain, are best kept close to the heart until the time is right. Number 4. Your pain. Some truths are not meant to be shared. A woman's pain, especially the kind she's carried for many years, holds a sacred weight. When spoken too freely, it risks being misunderstood, minimized, or even used against her. Not every sorrow is meant to be placed in someone else's hands. As a wise saying reminds us, some tears are meant to water the soul, not the world. Pain, when carried with quiet strength, can transform into resilience. But when it is exposed too freely, it often invites pity instead of respect, judgment instead of understanding. And pity never elevates a woman's dignity. I think of Margaret, a woman I once met at a dance club. She had survived many years raising her children alone after a difficult, broken marriage. When she finally opened her heart to a new relationship, Margaret believed true intimacy meant sharing everything. She revealed every sorrow, every regret, every scar from her past. At first, the man listened with gentleness, but over time, he no longer saw the strong woman Margaret had become. He saw only a fragile person defined by loss. That relationship faded, not because Margaret wasn't worthy of love, but because she had given too much too soon. Margaret's story teaches us that not all pain needs to be shared. Some wounds, left quietly, can heal on their own and become a source of strength. Like a tree in the forest that's been broken, it does not announce its cracks. It simply grows until the scars become part of its resilience. Similarly, a high-value woman understands that not every man, not every relationship is deserving of access to the most sensitive parts of her heart. This isn't about secrecy, it's about protecting your dignity. Pain, when revealed too quickly, can make you vulnerable to those who don't know how to hold it. When kept in silence, it can become wisdom, a private strength that shapes the way you move through the world without letting others define you by it. Number 5. The full depth of your love. When I was younger, I once gave every part of my heart to a man who had just stepped into my life. I believed that if he could feel the entirety of my love, he would stay forever. But reality was different. Just a few months later, he left. Not because the love I offered wasn't real, but because I had given too much, too soon, without boundaries. He received everything before he was truly deserving of anything. At the time, I was heartbroken. I wondered if perhaps I wasn't good enough, not lovable enough. But many years later, after experiencing more relationships and eventually enjoying a fulfilling marriage at 60, I came to a realization. The depth of love isn't about sharing every detail of your life. It's about knowing what to keep and what to reveal. When you leave a part of your soul as a mystery, love has room to grow, and your partner still yearns to discover it. It is this measured approach that makes love after 60 enduring, warm, and vibrant. This is why I believe love requires balance. A high-value woman understands that her love is a gift, not a guarantee. If you give everything, every emotion, loyalty, sacrifice, right from the start, you also put yourself at risk of heartbreak. But when you give with balance, passionate yet measured, you protect your heart while teaching a man to value it. Love after 60 is no longer a race to prove how much you can give. It is a journey to build a deep, reciprocal, and lasting connection. When a woman knows how to love generously without losing herself, she preserves her dignity. And it is that dignity that inspires a man's loyalty. Holding back a portion of the depth of your love doesn't mean being cold. It's wisdom. The heart, like the past and the scars it carries, cannot be surrendered all at once. It must be shared with the right person at the right time and to the right degree. Now, through all things I have shared, you can see that love after 60 is not just about what you share. It's about what you choose to protect. At this stage of life, the temptation to lay everything on the table is strong. To prove your sincerity by revealing every thought, every scar, every ounce of love. But wisdom teaches us that dignity is preserved not through exposure, but through discernment. I often liken relationships to a flame. If you give all the fuel too quickly, the fire burns bright for a moment and then turns to ashes. But if you feed it carefully, bit by bit, it will burn steadily through the night. Mystery, restraint, and self-respect are what keep love stable and radiant, allowing it to endure long after the initial sparks. Older men may never say it out loud, but they are drawn to women who understand balance. A woman who knows her worth, who protects her heart while sharing it wisely, inspires not just affection, but respect, loyalty, and lasting admiration. Love after 60 is a journey of thoughtful giving, quiet strength, and measured vulnerability. It is not about proving how much you can give. It's about showing that you are someone whose heart is worth cherishing. And that, ultimately, is the power that makes a woman unforgettable. If this conversation resonates with you, share your thoughts in the comments, subscribe to the channel, and continue this journey with me. Wishing you courage in love, clarity in life, and peace in your soul. Thanks for watching my video, and see you in the next video.